It's vegan recipes with Pat and Emily.
Today on It's Vegan, I'm going to show you how to make a rhubarb strawberry crumble. So here's a stalk of rhubarb. I'm going to slice it down. The bottom part sometimes feels woody, so I slice until I'm not getting that woody feeling. Then I turn it like this, and I'm just making small slices. They're about 1/4 inch thick. This is going pretty nicely. I will cut that until I have the quantity that I need. I've gathered my ingredients. I've got my chopped rhubarb, some sugar, cornstarch, some almonds, some ginger snaps, more sugar and vegan butter, and sliced strawberries. Now it's time to come to the stove and start cooking the rhubarb. You can start with a high temperature, but be prepared to lower it pretty quickly. We just want to start bringing out the liquid from that rhubarb. While that's cooking, I'm going to start the ginger crumble. I'm putting in the vegan butter and some sugar. This butter and sugar mixture will come to a boil, and then we will be coating the ginger snaps and the almonds with that. I'm putting the lid on the rhubarb now to help get that liquid out, and then we'll reduce that temperature. What's happening now is the rhubarb is starting to sizzle, so I know that it's getting hot. I'm turning down the heat to low, keeping the lid on it until it forms a sauce. I'll stir it occasionally. In this skillet, my vegan butter and sugar are starting to boil. I want this to come to a full boil that can't be stirred down. That's looking good. What I'm doing next with this sugar and butter mixture is I'm stirring in my ginger snaps and I'm stirring in the almonds. And I want to get all of this nice and coated. I'm going to turn the skillet off for that. Now I'll be putting it on a baking sheet and crisping it up in the oven. You can see the liquid is starting to come out of the rhubarb and it's softening. The ginger snaps are on a baking sheet, single layer, and they're ready to get crispened up in the oven. As you can see, the rhubarb's cooked, all the pieces are soft, and there's liquid there. I'm now going to add my cornstarch and sugar mixture and turn the heat up to bring this to a boil. Now I used a smaller amount of sugar just to start with because rhubarb can have a big variance in the amount of sweetness it has, so I'm going to taste this now. That was just 1 tablespoon of sugar. I am adding a 2nd tablespoon and I will taste it also. That's to my liking. Again, as you're making it, taste it. This ended up being 2 tablespoons of sugar to 2 cups of rhubarb. Now that this mixture has thickened up, you can see it's come together nicely. I'm going to stir in some vanilla and some almond extract, and those just really intensify the flavor. The last thing that I'm adding to this mixture will be my chopped strawberries. Now these strawberries were grown in my garden and they're very sweet. If you are using something from a store, they may be harder and they may need cooked a little bit. These ones do not need cooked at all. This will be enough because I want there to be a little bit of texture in this rhubarb mixture. So this will be fine for these. If you have the store-bought strawberries that are totally white on the inside, you may want to chop them up and cook them a little bit longer so they're not so hard. Also, they may not be as sweet as my strawberries, so again, you may adjust the sugar there to your liking. This time I'm going to take it off of the stove and we'll move to the next step of the crisp. The ginger snap crisp is ready. It's pretty hot. As you'll see, it's a little bit browned, and while it's hot, I'm going to start breaking it up a little bit before it gets too crispy and difficult to crumble. Now this time, stir it up a little bit and let it cool. Once this cools, we will assemble our dessert. And this portion could be made ahead of time. Here's how to serve this wonderful dessert. You could just start with the warm sauce on the bottom, the crumble on the top, and a garnish of a strawberry. Or You could start with the cold sauce, the sorbet, and crumble on top, garnished with a strawberry. And another idea is to start with the crumble on the bottom, the sorbet, the rhubarb sauce, some more crumble, and a strawberry on the top. This is just a beautiful, awesome dessert for a hot summer's night. Now for the taste test. You can see the sorbet in the bottom, the rhubarb, the crumble on the top. So I'm going to try to scoop down in there and get a little bit of everything. Very creamy. That lemon sorbet just enhances the flavor of the rhubarb, the strawberry, and the crumble. Please give it a try. I hope that you will like this and that you will like our video, you'll subscribe and share. God bless you. So glad you joined us.